Hello, 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 hello. Happy Sunday. It is Sunday. And all you new teachers, of course, you know I like to start on time. I will allow you guys to come in, come through. For those who are viewing this after it has been recorded, feel free to go in or to meet us in 2 weeks. Give our daily give me my daily heart needs. Start getting involved with this. If you are a new teacher, have friends, family members, anyone you know that's a new teacher, this is where we'll be every 2 weeks at 6 p.m. just to share out some pointers on what I wish or what you wish you knew, based on the experiences. For those who don't know me, I am Dr. LaQuisha Wilkins. I consider myself an education extraordinaire. I am a person who works in education. I'm an administrator. Currently, I am opening my own school. I founded an educational management organization, Authentic Exposures Academies. I am in the phases of setup, getting everything out there, getting it going. For all of you who are here, connect with the host, give the daily heart me. Also, I do have a goal of 5 roses. I am simple. I'm not superficial. Just a little something. Everyone who's coming in, hello, hello, hello. I will invite you guys in because this is a collaborative opportunity. Miss Jazz, I'm trying to add you in as well. This is good. Hello, Mrs. Dindy. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good.
I am gonna have people come in, as I have shared with you and Miss Maria the last session. We will go ahead and handle business as usual. Starting at 6 p.m., we will share what we're going to share. These will be recorded and also uploaded into YouTube. As our audience grows, which we know it will because we're giving such great pointers and tips and things that we'll be doing that makes the greatest changes and the most effective results in the classroom. Today, with our novice teachers, Mrs. Dindy, I am going to start out with those strategies. I like to look at things from a holistic approach, but I'm very detail oriented. So, what I'm going to be looking at is the small things build into the larger thing. We know our larger thing is academic progress and success, mastery of concepts, so on and so forth. How can we lend to our new teachers, such as yourself, um, those things? And the one thing that I look at, you can't get anything done in the classroom, Mrs. Dindy, without behavior being in check. So, with that being said, I do want to share a few strategies. I won't share too many, just a little something, little gold, platinum nuggets, diamond nuggets they can take back into the classroom that will surely help. Um, when I first went into the classroom, it was as if I went in with the wherewithal of management because I was a tutor, um, paraprofessional, had been babysitting children, and all of that when I went into the classroom. And I knew just to take those skills and implement them in my classroom. The first thing I do want to let new teachers know, yes, schools have PBIS, the positive behavior intervention systems. They have point systems. They have things in place, but every child does not respond to points. I've worked in environments where the kids don't care about points. They
Right.
don't care if you take points. They don't care if you call their parents. They just don't care. The behavior is going to be there. And if they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. And what
Mhm.
I found, and I'm going to come back to you and you share your experiences, what I found is I am very direct and I like order. Students crave order in the classroom. And what I noticed is when I gave my students the opportunity to have classroom jobs, and most of the time, or give them incentives such as 30 minutes of free educational time on an educational site of your choice on given days, that was much more influential on their behaviors than the PBIS points. They needed something right then, right now. You know, these students these days, this generation really likes things to be immediate. They want to see it instant gratification. It's not a thing of waiting on anything, other than I want it here and now. So, what do you do, or what have you done, or what have you observed is effective within the classroom in your experience?
Well, my experience in the classroom, and as I see in the classrooms, that when you give students a job duty every day, and or they have it on a specific day, that child looks at that as, okay, this is my responsibility. So they take that in consideration. So when they do that job, they committed to it and they make sure it's done correctly. So that will stop a lot of behaviors in the classroom. If you give them a job and if you make it fun in the classroom when they're learning. Like, for instance, my daughter, the youngest one, I went and observed her classroom. And her teacher use things like how we say the new word like 6 7, like she'll use that with math related. So she said that they took a quiz, and the quiz had problems with decimals, and majority of the answers was 6 7. So
Neat.
the last question was saying, what do I have all in common? So she said they was puzzled. They was like, what? And the answer was really 6 7. So that made like when you're using things that they know and have heard and use it in the classroom, it makes it fun for them. Like she makes it fun, and she might use words like they be like, "Oh, how you know that?" But she used it and she developed it in the math. So she makes the math fun, so they're eager to learn it.
Right. So, what I'm hearing you say is high engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, let me bring you in, Miss Maria. I'm looking at high engagement. When you're looking at high engagement in the classroom, that is definitely, and I just followed you, Miss Harris. This is a new one. When you look at high engagement, give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to get our, there we go. When you're looking at high engagement within the classroom, that is definitely that was another thing I was going to go into. So it segued us into looking at accountability and challenging your students. And I was speaking with my husband and a colleague also. When you're thinking about challenging your students, challenge doesn't mean giving a lot of work, a lot of busy work, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of paperwork. Challenging is just challenging their, making them think outside the box. And definitely an example, say we're in this session. I can come to you and I can say, what color is a school bus? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's gonna say yellow, orange, the big yellow bus. But in my classroom, I never use those types of questions. Of course, all of us know that depth of knowledge, and all of us know they have been more veteran. We know that it's the Bloom's taxonomy, which they're trying to weed out. But I will ask a question as, why do you think they colored buses the way they are? There's no right or wrong answer. We have to learn to be receptive to all answers. That would decrease a lot of the behavior as well. Because a lot of our students act out because either A, they're ashamed that they don't know, they're not the best, the most positive or confident readers or learners. They feel somewhere along the way, and what in my experience specifically, being in alternative and charter and all these other environments, the kids come to me with a lot of deficits, not only in mastery of concepts, but they come with deficits of social emotional well-being and skills. They come to me with a deficit of confidence. So my number one thing is to curb the behavior. I like to do everything in house. I don't need administrators. I don't need someone to come tell these kids to do what they need to do. It's just like your children at home. You're not gonna go ask your neighbor or ask your auntie or your mom or somebody, what am I gonna do with this child? Unless it gets to that point, you will have exhausted everything before you involve anybody else. Not saying that some behaviors don't warrant immediate reaction, but sometimes it's something simple as just noticing the small things and working with that child individually, giving them a task, or changing up how your delivery in the classroom is to be more engaging. Today we're going to do blended instructional models. That was always my go-to because I needed 3 or 4 groups, and I need to be having a teacher guided small group, of course, and then I need to have the whole group so we can let everybody know what we're doing, and then collaborative where you have partners, and then independent work, which was more or less our online management systems, them actually applying the knowledge they've learned through the week so that I can progress monitor it, using an unbiased approach. And I do want to say that for you new teachers before I chime into Miss Harris. It's okay to have project based learning, different tasks, and the sort. But if you're not using rubrics to measure the student's success with that, or using online management systems where you're not touching, so to speak, it's making grading subjective. And that's where a lot of our children go wrong too, because a lot of our children are actually quite bright and geniuses. It's just they've been through a subjective view from a teacher. The teacher don't like him because he don't listen, or she don't listen, or they mama hung up on me, and I don't care how good the work is, I'm going to give this child what I see fit because they're not going to be successful anyway with all that they got going on. You get what I'm saying? I've seen it all. But rubrics, online management programs, anything that ties into an objective way of assessing should be used. Miss Harris, so I asked when you were coming in, hello, happy Sunday. I asked Miss D what strategies have she observed, seen, or used that have been the most effective in managing behaviors in her classroom? Because you can't get them to learn until you get the behaviors in check. And today we're talking about the behaviors being in check. Hello. Let me invite in. Oh, she went away. I
You
was
want me to go
inviting
ahead
in.
and start?
Yes, I'm ready. Go ahead.
I think for the most part, even for me, it's paying very close attention to the kids that you have. Like where I work now is in the media center, so I get to see the entire school. So behaviors start in, first of all, how they respond to me.
Mhm.
And what am I doing to get a certain response? When children don't know you, they're going to do what they're used to doing. And a lot of times that is being disrespectful if that's all they know. And you have to set the expectation for yourself of how that is going to go. So the first time what I do is I I come off strong, very strong, so they will understand that teacher right there is not playing with me. Then the next time that I see them, I may speak with a smile. I don't try to smile too much because kids will walk all over you if they think you're soft, especially these kids these days. But what I do is I speak and I, hey, how you doing? I'll say something positive. Hey, beautiful, how you doing? Love that hair. And I always make them know that I am trying to be, not trying to be your friend, but I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to help you be the best person that you need to be. And I'm trying to bring that out of them because a lot of times they don't have that. But in the classroom, when I was in the classroom, it gets it's a sticky situation. You literally have to learn each child. And if you got 27, 28 kids in your classroom, that can be very, very taxing. But then you group some of them. Especially someone with the same behaviors, you kind of group them, and then you put one kid that maybe have a different behavior with them, and then you just put them in small groups every now and then. And I like to do life lessons and stuff. You do little stuff like that with them. Ask open-ended questions. Enjoy. Let them tell you. Don't guide their answer. Let them tell you exactly what they think. Then you do a best scenario, a best practice type drill with them, and just get them to like really think. When kids know that you're the teacher that don't play, they're going to respond to you as the teacher that don't play.
Right.
But you also have to know, like I tell like kids to say, Miss Harris don't play, but she love us.
Right.
They know who really love them, or just who don't play but they mean,
Right.
who don't play but she really really care. But they
Right.
know that when they see me, bam, I gotta stop running the hall. When they see me, bam, I got to stop doing this because my hair's going to correct me. Walk on the right side of the hall.
Right.
Stop running. Get your feet off the
Right.
wall. Don't do that. Oh, isn't that line looking good right there? That is
Mhm.
awesome. Look at those babies with their bubbles in their mouths,
Right.
and stuff like that. As they get older, you look at them and you give them the nod type thing and be like, you know what? Y'all got it going on. The words that come out of your mouth, it becomes different
Mhm.
depending on the level of child. But you really, really, really have to be that one that say enough is enough, and they know it is true.
Right. So what I hear you saying, and I like to break it down for them. Start with the end in mind. Start off day one setting expectations. Expectations are good. What I like to do also for more strong accountability is we'll go through it. Every student will take a post-it note and post the one rule in the class they feel is most important, and then we'll put all those rules together, and we will then do a critical thinking exercise, and I have the students categorize all of their stickies. And then we'll make 5 big rules, 5 main rules. And that way I hold them accountable. Hey, you made these rules. I didn't. That's not something that I did. You understand what I'm saying? So with that, that holds them accountable, yet at the same time, um, it's setting things in place, because rules today are laws tomorrow. And that's how I educate my students with that. Also, being intentional in what you say. Affirmations go a long way. Some of these students don't get someone being kind to them at all, ever. At home, in society, other people at school. So sometimes the one nice thing that you say or the one way that you come off may resonate with them and change behavior immediate. Um, you cannot play with them. You have to be stand firm. Standing firm does not mean being mean. It means standing
Right.
firm. Hello, how are you? Because they will take advantage of you. I guess
Mm-hmm.
my gift is them coming in and I have a straight face and I'll look
Yeah.
at them. Even if you know me personally, I have that face.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Yeah.
not until you engage with me, oh man, she cool. Yes, I
Yeah.
am.
Yes.
But it's just that I have a certain level of discernment. And I have to sit back and observe and watch, because I give what I get.
Yes.
And what I teach my students is I tell them that I'm transparent with their parents to say I give what I get. So whatever I get from a parent, that's what I give to a parent. Not being, it's just actually it's more of a reciprocal learning. You know? Anything else, ladies? What we missing? What else? I don't want to add anything else other than this topic with them today.
Well, I wanted to say this too. Parents need to learn as well. They need to know who you are. They need to know that level of expectation as well. I think what we're
Mhm.
missing mostly in the
Right.
school system is the appreciation for education that is lacking. And it's a lot of illiterate, and it's a lot of um, uh, um, parents out there that do not have a higher education other than dropped out in ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, and not saying that they were done, by no means.
Mm-hmm.
What actually probably happened is they was just too smart to be there. It wasn't the environment for them. I taught school with a teacher. He was born and raised in Vegas, and he said he was in the ninth grade, and he dropped out of school, went and got his GED, and went straight to school to become a teacher. He said he hated everything about it. He said the teachers were all they did was complained about everything that the kids did. He said he was tired of going to school, looking at the same teacher, the same thing. Every day was the same thing. And what parents got to understand too, and this is what I tell parents all the time, public school may not be for your child. You
Right.
got to explore everything out there that there is for your child. Some people, some kids may need to have a online kind of education.
Right.
Some children may like homeschool. Some children may need a Montessori type environment. Some of them may need a private type environment. Some of them may need more structure. Some of them may be more liberated, and they need one of those a school for the arts type kind of environment. So it's very well, you have to pay attention so keen to your students. And when there's a problem or issue, I used to tell my teachers of my own biological children, if you just take a moment to talk to them after school one day, the same questions you're asking me, ask them.
Uh-huh.
Let them tell you
Right.
how they feel about your class. Let them tell you what they don't like about your class. One thing we want is, I think, as educators, we want for everything to be smiling, everything to be high, not to have any lows. We want
Right.
everything to be just go in the direction of the positivity. But do people don't understand? It's the negative things that make you grow. The
Yes.
winter, when the
Lows make
winter
it much
time
worthwhile.
comes,
Yeah, the lows make it
yeah,
more
we got to
worthwhile.
understand there's a season for everything. And when
Yes.
negativity hits your classroom, you got to look at that negativity and say, how this is a challenge for me. Okay, now what do I do with this challenge, and how do I get it to turn around into something positive? Do we not understand that sometimes that the only way we're going to grow is through challenges?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to know how to look at those challenges. Are our biggest teachers. So we look
Ooh,
at those
yes,
challenges, we
yes.
look at
As
those
as they
things.
say, Vince, new teachers
There
Clock
you
get
and
that
key.
T, clock
there you go.
it, clock
Because
it.
listen, when we get our degrees and we set up in the classroom, we still have growing to do.
Yes,
Mm,
ma'am.
And we don't, it just not come. What we, that profession that we have, we have to grow from level to level, and we got to grow as well. So
I'm
as we're
still growing.
giving,
I'm still
that
growing, even
we
with a
never
doctorate.
stop.
Yep, I'm
We
still
That's just
growing.
like parents. That's
Right,
Mm-hmm.
just like parents. We never stop being parents. My
right.
Right.
children will never be my age unless I die and I stop. But they're gonna always be my children. And for whatever I can, I'm gonna do everything I can to help them. So you have
Yes.
to have that same mentality with your children. Now, and this is a big kicker too.
Mm-hmm.
There are some children that you're not gonna be able to help.
Yep,
Yes. And I noticed
You
that.
have to understand that. And like you said, the level of discernment that you have, if you don't have that discernment and all you doing is complaining, you're not going to know the difference between a challenge that I can possibly turn around,
mm-hmm.
or this child needs a different environment, or I just cannot help this child. Because if it's the challenge is a certain way, you're gonna deem everybody is, oh, I can't help them, oh, I can't help them, oh,
Yep.
I can't help them,
Mm-hmm.
Like
because you ain't
easy
got
get
your
out,
discernment
easy
on.
get out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have
But
your discernment on, and you was perfect when you said that. If you are not looking and paying attention, you will cancel children out that God put in your classroom that you were supposed
Mm-hmm.
to love on, and kick them up a notch and put them on the next level.
Yes.
and I love the challenges of when I look at it. So new teachers, don't give up because I have in my years, I've had, and I can count on one hand, 5 teachers that were about to quit. I am big on teacher retention. I know what to say to them to get them there, to get them to stay, and to actually, I know how to coach and mentor them at that level. Now, 2 of them have received master's degrees, and they came in as subs and have went through a teaching program. All because I went in, took the initiative, and modeled the expectation. I'm not going to throw you in the classroom and say, "Look, this is this, 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 this." If I share a strategy, I'm coming in tomorrow. It's going to be I do, we do, you do. I'm going to come
Come
in. I
on
want you to
now.
sit back and take those notes. Sit back and watch me work because I want them to see I'm new to your kids' classroom. At that time, I was academic facilitator. They would see me walking through the halls. All they knew was I'm checking kids. I don't care whose child it is. I'm checking you. Uniform, check your professionalism. That's the words I use. They know me. I use their lingo. I know how to code switch quite nicely. I can speak on their level. I can turn around and talk to this person over here, speak on their level. Then I can get in a meeting and speak on the level. I know how to do it all, but I let the kids know, I let the teachers know it's things that when you go in, all children want to learn. They may not want to learn what you want to teach them, but they
Mhm.
want to learn something. You got to figure out what it is they want to learn. Don't write them off. Don't listen to everybody else because you're going to resonate with a child that Miss Minnie Mouse and Mr. Mickey Mouse can't resonate with. You're going to do that. You understand what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
um, kids respond to that. They want that. I just know that a lot of new teachers are coming out of these schools ill prepared.
Mhm.
They're coming out of these schools. Everybody teaching pedagogy, but nobody teaching real life relevance. We speak relevance in undergrad, but they don't teach relevance. They don't teach intentionality. They don't do that. So that's what this forum is going to be for with all of us. You know what I'm saying? This is what we need when it comes to making the changes that's necessary. They talk social emotional learning. Most of the adults, and also go back to what you're saying, Miss Maria, the adults, a lot of adults, if you come from a home where the mother doesn't have a high school education, or there's nobody in the family that has a college education, what's the likelihood of you even wanting to know what that is if your school is not even exposing it? Every school, I always have an initiative. I was at a middle school here in
Right.
Gastonia. I brought the college career exposure, the experience, because I asked the student when I first started there, I was there for 2 years before I got my other promotion. But I asked the student, what are you going to be when you grow up? Or what are you going to do when you get out of high school? I never asked, what do you want to do? New teachers, don't ask students what they want to do. We have to speak into their lives.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them what are they going to do. That automatically starts programming them. We're not in the
Yeah.
business of programming through oppression. We're in the business of
Right. Right.
excelling. I go beyond. So the child couldn't tell me. And I said, I tell you what, that made me start thinking then we're going to colleges. I scheduled college tours for my eighth grade. For my seventh and eighth graders, we had their professional parents come in. One thing that the kids really talked about was the parent that was did ultrasounds. The parent brought her tools in and was doing ultrasounds on the kids' arms and hands. Real
Mm-hmm.
life experiential learning experiences, highly engaging. The students had to ask
Mhm.
questions. I tied it into their language arts classes. No, I'm not just bringing these gifts to you for you not to learn from them. Tell me what you learned. 5 to 8 sentences is a paragraph. Punctuation,
Mhm.
capitalization, check. I want the paperwork when they do it, teachers, so I can check behind those teachers to make sure they've done what the expectation is. It's just really exposing these kids to something, and again, it'll decrease the behavior. Parents need to be more involved because oftentimes parents' behaviors need to be checked as well. Because if
For
your
Mhm.
sure.
parent is telling you, well, Miss Hughes or Miss D shouldn't have done that. No, that's what you don't tell your child that. You come find out what Miss D or Miss Harris told your child, and
Mhm.
That's
let's sit
right.
down together as a team and get this thing together. What are we gonna do? What are you willing to do, teachers? What are you willing to do, admin? What are you willing to do, student? What are you willing to do, mom or dad? You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
Yes.
really finding these little things that can be done before those behaviors escalate. We're at the beginning of the school year. That's why we're talking about the behavior now. By now, the kids should have routines established and everything ready for success. If you see them sliding to the side, tell every child, I believe in second chances. You got an opportunity. I have a more veteran teacher I'm working with, and then I'm going to share out with you guys. I've been mentoring her for 12 years now, and she's back in
Mm-hmm.
Pennsylvania. I still mentor her because where every other administrator feel, oh, she's not going to do this, teachers need life spoken into them too
They
sometimes
sure
as
do.
Yes.
well.
We sure
And
do, honey.
with her, she's a Caucasian female. And she loves to work in urban schools. Why? Because she was the alternative kid. Like she said, she did everything under the sun. But like I told her the one thing she said she'll tell me she has an unruly class. They don't want to listen to her. She's soft spoken. She's a writer by nature. But I told her what you do is you have to tap into your inner you. And your inner beast is the ability that you are positive with being remaining quiet and knowing when to say what. So when she does that,
Yeah.
what she does is I said, if you have a child given the behavior, write the name on the board. Don't say anything. Keep going on about your day. First thing
Yeah.
they're gonna notice is
Mm-hmm.
she's in middle school. They're gonna say, "Oh, your name on the board." Oh, it gets better. Every time you have to say something to that child, put a tally. When
That's
you
it.
notice that child been sitting down 30 minutes in your class, take away a tally. Because they're going to
Mm-hmm.
start asking you questions. Then you give it to them. I'm not just going to come in here and do that. I told her do that on Wednesdays, give a 45-minute last part of the block where the kids can catch up on work. You know, the ones who have not earned their right, which is on Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, they have to have their name out on the board and they're following the rules and expectations of how we do business in our classroom. That's going to resonate much
Hmm.
more. And she did it. And her behaviors decreased by 30%. Just that one time she did that with me. And I check in with her.
Wow.
I'll text her. I'll say, "How did it go today?" And she'll come with something else. I say, "Remember, stay head first. Stay focused. The goal,
Mm-hmm.
the goal. You're
Yeah.
not gonna get a
Yeah.
100%, but if you get 5%, you winning." She said, "Well, I got two kids that did something different. You winning. That's a win. A
That's
win
it.
is a win."
Right. Right. It is a win. Is a win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's by 0.001. A
Right.
win is a win.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Ask the people that run races. A win is a win.
Right.
I
Yes.
don't care how much you win
For those
by.
who have come
And you,
in, guys,
yeah.
you can give a heart me so you can join we ladies. We will be meeting bi-weekly here for new teachers. If you have a new teacher in the family, if you have someone that you know that are veteran, they're veteran teachers but operate as new teachers, because everybody who's been doing it, sometimes you can't tell they've been doing it because
Mm-hmm.
they're so stuck in their ways and they're not willing to grow, as Miss Harris and Miss D have been saying. So feel free. Okay, ladies. Anything we missed? Our next session will be at 7. Well, the external stakeholders. So all of you people who are here dropping in, make sure you know there's 2 sessions. And we have 30 minutes in each, but we don't limit ourselves. That's why we have an hour between. Is there any
Hmm.
closing thoughts, ladies? I'm gonna
Well,
stop talking because you know I'm a talker. B. I'm gonna just stop talking and let you ladies close it out for us.
okay. So one thing that I have noticed is that a lot of teachers that I have surround myself around, I notice their energy. Like when you first, I was always told if I'm going to work, leave my problems at the front door that's going on outside of my life. When I walk into that classroom, it's not about me anymore. It's about my students. And
Mm,
teachers don't understand that. And I observe that. And I'm big on prayer. I'm going to pray before I walk into my classroom. I'm going to pray over my students when they think I'm
mm,
not praying for them because they need it.
mm,
And
mm,
some teachers
mm,
don't understand that negative energy because I
mm,
can feel it. And I'm like, no, not today. We're going to, we got to get rid of this today because this is not what we need. We in here to learn. We in here to teach these students, but a lot of them want to teach who they want to teach and leave the rest of them behind. And you
mm,
can't do that because if God called you for this purpose, you better do what's expected of you. Because guess what? If you don't, He will remove you
mm.
in a heartbeat.
And students notice it. They pick up on
Yes.
everything. They're silent, but they see all. And those teachers that sit in the hallway and talk down about other students and things and be unprofessional, they hear it, they see it,
Mm-hmm.
they do repeat it. They do.
Mm-hmm.
I've had
Yes.
plenty of students come to me and they'll say, "Mrs. Wilkins, such and such was talking about you." And you know what my response to them is, because this is a teachable moment.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody won't like you. But
There
as
you
long
go.
as you're shining and you doing what you need to do, where you doing what you need to do, I say, am I doing something wrong where I'm helping you learn? Is there something that I need to change? Which I'm glad I said that Miss Harris made the point of teachers when ask my children what they think of your class. Miss Harris, I didn't wait till the end of the day. That should be part of my day. I ask my
Mm-hmm.
kids after every lesson, their exit ticket is to tell me what it is that I could improve on with the lesson, and they're anonymous. I don't care who said it. I'm more concerned with, oh my goodness, y'all forgive me. I'm more concerned with why they said it. So
Hmm.
I'm a self-reflective practitioner in everything I do, from teaching to coaching to professional development to presenting and keynote speaking, all of that. I like to reflect all of that. Miss Harris. Thank you, Miss D.
I think the in retrospect of what she's saying, I think the highest degree of code switching is to be able to turn off your personal life and to come and walk into the classroom and teach a kid,
Right.
to teach a class. I have been to where in that I was, now being transparent, I was going through a divorce and I had to still go to work every day with
Mm-hmm.
all of that trauma, all of that pain, turn it off and to take care of my children.
Right.
And that's why in the beginning of the school year, I told the entire school, even you don't never know what somebody going through. Be each other's peace.
Right.
You never know what that, and if you really, really, really got your mind made up to do that, you'll see somebody and it'll just hit you. Ask them how they doing.
Right.
It's one thing to say, "Hey, girl, how you doing?" and to look at somebody and say, "Are you all right?"
Mm.
That's two different things.
Empathy.
I break down real bad. You ask me, "Are you all right? Are you really okay?" Honey, those words right there will make you break down quick. But you have to know your professionalism is code switching,
Right.
but the highest degree is to turn off personal situations
Right.
and handle that class and then go right back to it whenever you leave. Nobody knows I pulled up several times in my parking space at work and didn't even know have enough gas to get home.
Mm.
Nobody knew that,
Right.
but that was something that I was going through,
Right.
and but I still had to teach a class.
And you had to, and I
So
love that. I love it.
you have to. And so with that, we just have to be mindful. And you are so, so true, Misty. You are so true. You got to be headstrong. And yes, we have weak moments. I'm strong minded, but you got to be headstrong. But then whenever it's time for you to rest, you better rest
Yes.
because your
Yes.
physical will take on it, your mental will take on it, then you'll start being mean for no reason. Stress
Mm.
will take you to another level too. But I'm gonna say this: I have heard teachers, I heard a principal say this, and I thought it was one of the ugliest things I've ever heard in my life.
Mm.
He said, a teacher asked him something. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to help her and mentor her,
Mm.
and she asked him for help in the classroom. And this is what he said. He said, um, let me tell you something. Some of these children have some labels that you're not going to be able to help. Don't you compromise
Hmm.
your check for these kids. I
Listen.
was floored.
See,
Lord have
Listen,
mercy.
whew,
he had a doctor's degree. This
listen.
man had a doctor's degree. And he
That's the
told this
problem,
teacher,
Miss Harris. The
don't
thing is,
compromise your check for these children. I was
Hmm.
floored.
but the thing
And that
is with
taught me
that,
right there.
those administrators who forget that they were educators once, because some of them come straight off the street. I'm having to work hard for
That's
mine,
it.
guys. I had to put in the
Yeah.
work so you can see, show, and prove. But we got some that's none like me, and that's my taboo talks talk. I'm gonna say what it really is. You know, some have it handed to them, and
Yes.
they don't even fit the bill to do it. But my thing is, the one that forgets that they were an educator or a new teacher are the ones that they are the worst. And
He
then
came from being a custodian.
Hmm.
the
He worked his
closing
way all the
part.
way up as administrator. And you mean you gonna tell that person that? You ain't always had everything.
So they're
Uh,
there for a check, pretty much.
yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
If you're in it for
That's
a
it.
check, get out of it now. Because you will not get that check. Not even as an administrator with a doctorate. You won't for
Come
what
on
you have
I'm
to
now.
put
telling
up with.
you.
You will not. You
And
have to have the passion.
new teachers, put your discernment on and understand. Let your let your heart tell you who to reach out to because everybody don't have your best at interest.
And
Well,
we
thank
are
you for
here.
that.
We will be here, ladies. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, because really, in our next segment where we're going to come back, it's going to be representation. And also those
Yeah.
MTA, talking about representation in schools and all of that, and being professional development and mindfulness. Because mindfulness is not just
Mm-hmm.
with new teachers. Mindfulness is with parents need their frame of mind, veteran teachers.
Yes, they do.
You have to have that, know when to say when, and know how to remain professional with everything. Know how to ask the right questions. But that has been it for us today. We're gonna get off and we'll be back on. I gotta give these ladies a moment because they have been amazing for us chime in as we have our taboo talks with Dr. Wilkins. And I'm sure and hoping Mrs. D and Miss Harris can come back in with us then. We'll share. As we said, we're gonna be here until we get us 100 in here to talk with us. We're gonna fill it in. I want to have a panel of 8 people to come in, just share their experience because these are recorded, and I also drop them into YouTube. I want to make sure we have a message, and there's a lot of things that people don't talk about that they need to talk about, and we're going to talk about it. So until then, I see you ladies in 15 minutes. Everybody, have a great one. All right, ladies.